sailmaker tries to produce a sail which will go through a broader range as possible, from very light air to very heavy air, which means it's got to go from flat to flat. And in order to do that, all the spars have to be able to compensate for that bend. So what it's all about in radial and in this boat, in the laser, fin, Europe, it's about bending the mast to flatten the sail. Is that in one of them, which is the radial, the mast has to be bent with the leach of the sail, right? In the skiff rig, the concept is completely different. The mast is made extremely flexible. That's a skiff rig. Here's the Cunningham, okay? That's what a Cunningham will do with the skiff rig. Nothing to do with, with the leach. Purely Cunningham. But the mast must be flexible. Radial rig. I don't care how much you pull, you will never cripple it. You will never get it to bend. So what you end up doing is end up getting the bend in it by pulling back with the leach of the sail. When you do that, this is what you hike against. There is no alternative to that, unless you can somehow bend the spar without using the leach. If you can do that, it opens up the boat a much broader range, because the lighter person can open up the leach, the heavier person doesn't bother and hikes against the big rope. This sail is about 11 or 12% more sail area than the regular byte. It's all up high, it's a much shorter boom, but it's a much easier sail to hike against. I'm going to show you why. I put the boat on its side. Will somebody give me a hand? This is what we would do. Bend the spar. We get the sail flat. Now, I think that's a pretty powerful shape. Uniform right up to the top. When we pull on the Cunningham, just watch the leach. The sail is gone. And there's no load in the leach at all. All the bend. What you need to do, you've got to get the boom in on the quarter. It's no accident that the laser sail sheets down on the corner. I mean, we moved the radial around until we found that position. If you're inside the corner, this part of the sail will stall, and if you're outside the corner, you lose your height. If you're on the corner, you're right on. And you know you're right on because this part of the batten under the number will be right in line with the center line of the boat. If you try and bring the boom up to the corner with the main sheet, you just undo what we did with the Cunningham, right? So we don't. We leave that and we take the Traveler up to weather, right? Now I've got the boom on the corner. I haven't screwed around with the leach. The leach is still soft, and I got a lovely twist in the sail. Traveler's to weather, and this is pretty well the setup of the boat in 16 to 18 knots. It's up here in very light air, and it comes down to the middle in what I call the design wind of the boat, which is probably 12 to 14, because there you can hold You don't need this, and you can hold the tight leech and you can hold the power. You don't have to spill anything, and so you're pulling off pretty well off the middle. But the minute you have to put too much tension to get the boom in here, and you start flattening the sail with this, then you revert to traveler up to weather and not as much main sheet tension. And it's the old mantra, if the boom is on the corner, you get your height. When you get your rig set up with the boom over the corner and the right shape in it, the right amount of Cunningham on, whatever, at that point the bang is snug. You don't want to put on more bang, because what you'll do is you'll just take out the twist that you put in with the Cunningham. But snug it up so that if you have to crack it in a puff, the boom will go straight out. Right? The corollary though is that as you get to the weather mark, you don't want to have the mast bent with the Cunningham, because if you're on a reach, you need the power, or even if you're downwind, so the Cunningham is thrown off and everything is now controlled with the bang. Downwind. And it controls the twist in the sail. Because of the nice big high roach, if you don't put bang on, it will blow completely open. And in light air, you all know that's blindingly fast, but it's also very unstable as the wind comes up. And we suggest the boom goes out to at least square, sometimes beyond it, and then in very light air, no bang at all, and the top of the sail will go way past the fortships line with the mast. As the wind comes up and that starts to get open, then you start pulling on the bang until you take the twist out of the sail completely. Right? And in heavy air, that's what you want to do, because all of these boats, you know, the windward roll is, windward death roll is what you're all trying to avoid.